Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's 2014 Action Movie Conference. I'm excited to be introducing tonight's keynote speaker. Get pumped, as he is one of my favorite superheroes. He's one of my favorite action movie stars, regardless of what movie he's played in. If that's the Avengers or if that is in Captain America, I'm still a fan. Like I said, I'm going to start out with one of his quotes that he is famous for. He's saying, he was talking to one of his partners, and she said, "Did you do anything fun Saturday night?" "Well, all the guys from my barbershop quartet are dead, so not really." Well, that's funny, because I will be introducing Steve Rogers, or also better known as Captain America, which is what I'll be referring to him as, because we all know him as Captain America, not as his real name. So about Captain America is he is old. He is older than we may ever live to be, but yet he's still young, which is so awesome. So with that, I want to move on to, like I said, it is my extreme honor to introduce my favorite action movie star of all time, Captain America, because I think he's awesome, and it's cool that he gets to wear red, white, and blue, because we all want to do that. So like I said, he's a supreme superhero. He's awesome. He's one of the best of the Marvel characters, I believe, at least. And so, again, like I said, I'm introduced, and I'm honored and extremely excited to be introducing Mr. Captain America. So with that, to give myself a little credibility of why I was chosen to introduce our keynote speaker tonight is because, one, like I said, he is my favorite. Two, I've seen all of his movies, whether that's the first Captain America, the second one, or if that is any of the Avengers, which is awesome, and I'm looking forward to the third one. Moving forward, he said, I know his bio. I've seen where he grew up. I know he grew up in New York, and I've seen where he is today, living in Washington, D.C. It's awesome. Even got to grab lunch with him earlier today, which was cool. Well then, so our connection, how does Captain America, Steve Rogers, connect with y'all? Well, one, this is predominantly a male audience, so that's awesome, because he's a male. What's even cool about him is he is a dominant male. If you've seen him, some people have seen him with his shirt off, so look at that. He's got a six-pack, he's got a huge chest. That's what almost every guy wants nowadays, especially living in the 21st century. So with y'all being able to introduce to a predominantly male audience, that makes it even easier. And as well as with that, us growing up, we all wanted to be a superhero. Who didn't? Who didn't want to save the world? Who didn't want to save little kids from a burning building or save the world from destruction from our key villains and enemies such as Hydra? We all wanted that. And it leads to getting the ladies, just like Captain America does. So for him, one of the things that I think is he lives to fight, serve and protect, and live an intense life. And so two of my main points that I'll be moving on with of why Captain America was chosen to be tonight's keynote speaker is, one, that he's not just a soldier, but he's a good man. As well as two, he's the defender of the U.S. And so, transition, the first thing I would like to start with is, again, like I said, he's not just a soldier, but an honorable man. With that, he lives by the saying of courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. And he also likes to share the motto with his fellow servicemen of, you are braver than you think. And so with that, look at him. He was transplanted into this century. He was raised in early America in the 1900s, and then he got frozen, and now he's up in today's time living in Washington, D.C. So he got to see fighting in World War II, as well as moving forward to fighting 2 years ago in the Avengers when the world was against destruction, and then to beating the Winter Soldier this year. And then so next thing is, he stuck with his morals, which I find is awesome. It's hard as you grow up in the early 19th century. The morals were a little different than what they are today. You were a little bit nicer back then. You cared about other people. Today we're taught to care about ourselves and not be respectful. But he is still respectful, still cares about others, which is just incredible. And the other thing that proves that he is not just a soldier but an honorable man is the fact that when you see him battle, like when he battled the Winter Soldier, also known as Bucky, who was one of his best friends growing up, he chose, instead of trying to kill Bucky as he easily could have done, he chose to spare his life, which in turn spared Captain America's life. And I just think that's awesome, showing that he's an honorable man, and the fact that he chose not to kill a brother but instead save him, even if that in turn could have led to his life being taken. So the next thing, moving forward, the next point that I want to highlight is that he's a defender of the U.S. He's one of our go-to people when the country is in trouble and under attack. by our enemies, we choose him, we call him, and the rest of the Avengers, and I feel that is awesome. He risks his own life every day. Each day it could be his last, but that didn't stop Captain America. And then as well as he also knows what it takes to protect. He stays ready, stays in combat shape, as we saw in The Winter Soldier, as he was outrunning his comrade in the very beginning. I think he said he ran a mile or several miles in 5 minutes, I think is what it was. And then another thing to support this is he, again, like I said, he lives to serve and to support his country, as well as protecting humanity's freedom. We see this played out in any film that he's ever been in. He's been going strong since World War II, been going strong all the way up through the wars that he's been in. He still is the same as he was yesterday, he's the same today, and he'll be the same tomorrow. Lives with the same convictions and passions that he did back when he first entered into the armed services. Even after all the testing and the trials and the hardships that he's gone through, he still is the same, which I think speaks a lot of his character and just the great man that he is. And so, again, like I said, it is my extreme honor to introduce Steve Rogers, Captain America. He's the one and only Captain America. He's the one and only guy that we can turn into in red, white, and blue. Like I said, he's an extreme asset to our country. He's an extreme asset to Marvel Comics as a whole. And he's an extreme asset to us as action movie fans, because we get to sit down, watch his action movies play out, and enjoy them for our own enjoyment, which is awesome. And then again, lastly, I want to end with another one of his connection. He's a man, just like the majority of us. He's a mystery. We'll never know what he's going to do next, but we know and we can expect that it's going to be to serve his country, to serve us, and to protect our freedom. So, like I said, it is my honor to hand the podium over to the one and only tonight's keynote speaker, Captain America.